Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video, we're going to be starting a series called Standing on the Backs of Giants. I want to take you all on a journey of my path from YouTube watcher to YouTube creator. And this first episode we're going to call The Early Days, Farmers, Homesteaders, and DIY. Now, before we dive into the material, I just want to introduce you a little bit to myself and maybe take care of some housekeeping business. I'm Brent Shimko. Thank you for coming. Thank you for clicking on this video. I live in southeastern Manitoba, which is up in Canada. So for viewers in the United States, around the world, welcome. Come on in. For viewers that are finding this video far in the future and have somehow discovered it in the deep archives, welcome. Come on in. It's the end of January 2025, and I really felt it was time to get my thoughts on video just to help me process what I need to be doing right now. And so I have a favor to ask you, and that's to be patient with me. I'm trying to do this as an unedited video, and talking into a camera is really a little uncomfortable. I like to think of myself as a pretty decent communicator, but just talking to myself, I'm not even talking to myself, I'm talking at a device and just making this up as I go along. So there's no script. I didn't really write any show notes. So we'll see where this goes. But in any case, maybe you can tell from my appearance, but I'm a Gen Xer. I was born in early 1970s. And so having said that, I was raised on television, so media was a part of my life pretty much from the earliest of days. Some of my earliest memories are Sesame Street and children's programming and that kind of thing, and so media and entertainment, that was really something my generation was bred and raised on, and so it's an interesting transition. As I grew up, I was kind of a late adopter to using the internet. I was familiar with computers and some of the work I did, but I really didn't start using the internet until maybe 2008. And I think by that time, YouTube had probably been around for a few years already. And really the first I heard of YouTube was from a cousin of mine. He said, man, you got to check this out. There's this thing you could do on the computer where it's like you could find any video ever made. It's like you just type in that Yogi Bear episode where Yogi and Boo Boo were blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, wow, that's fascinating. And, I was in my 30s by then. And I'm like, I don't really need that in my life right now. I'm good. And so it wasn't until a few years later that I got my first desktop computer and an internet account that I came across some material online, and it was all very good. But I kind of had a shift in around 2001, 2002, where I really walked away from most media. I stopped watching television. I didn't own a television for years. I still don't. Like I don't have a Netflix account. We don't have a cable account here. And so yeah. And as a new YouTuber, here's where, these awkward pauses and long silences, they might get uncomfortable, but just bear with me. I'm doing the best I can. I'll improve over time. We'll do that together. You'll see. I'll do my best to improve the content and the quality, but this is all going to be unedited. So you get what you get. In any case, I started using the YouTube and the internet for finding media that would substitute as what entertainment I wouldn't have in place of television, cable. So I started exploring content that was interesting to me, but I really didn't use the internet a lot. I had gone back to school in 2010, and I was using my computer for studies and online stuff that was pertaining to school and whatnot. But there wasn't a lot of YouTubing at that point. But then in 2015, my wife and I got married, and we were living in Winnipeg at the time, and just the way our schedules worked, I had time to start looking at some content, and I started stumbling across some stuff that really struck a chord in me, and it had to do with the idea of living off grid, living off the land, this back to the land movement, farming, homesteading. And so I came across some content creators on YouTube that really caught my attention. And so I'll be listing some of these creators and giving credit where credit is due. Some of them are, as far as I know, not even using YouTube anymore. They've either moved on or who knows what. But I'll leave in the comments some show notes, and I'll find some links to creators that you might find interesting if you're into this kind of stuff. Like, and having said that, like I live on a small homestead, and we've got a bunch of animals and stuff here, and doing the stuff. But this isn't a homesteading channel. I'll talk about homesteading as we go, as it's pertinent to the discussion of the day, but it's not primarily a homesteading channel. But this is kind of what got me stirred up in the early days, and I came across one fella, big YouTube channel called Wrangler Star, and he's in the Pacific Northwest, and just the lifestyle he was living with his wife and family. He was doing all the things I wanted to do, and so it was really inspiring. It was all about tools and building stuff and growing stuff, and so that really kind of stirred up something in me that kind of led me down a path to start finding a way to get out of the city and onto my own piece of land, start doing the things I wanted to do. So eventually we ended up here. That was kind of, I'll tell you part of that story as we go. That's not part what this video is for. But with what Cody Wrangler Star did was kind of plant a seed in me that yeah, I could be living the life I wanted to, because as an adult, as far as back as I can remember, I wanted to be out of the city. If I wasn't married, I'd go live somewhere in the bush under a rock with all the Sasquatches, and just be happy as a pig in a poke. But the reality of life too is I like running water, and I like being able to flip a switch and turn the lights on, and having a grocery store 10 minutes away from me. So maybe that bush life is not all it's cracked up to be, but in any case, we're out here and we're doing what we want to be doing for the most part. And so Cody really kind of helped me get my thinking in that direction. Now, as I'm binge watching his content, the recommendations come up, and I found one creator up in Canada. I know he was in Kelowna, and this was Curtis Stone. And there was a video titled something along the lines of "Everything I Want to Do is Illegal." And what Curtis was doing at the time, he was famous for being the urban gardener. He was renting plots of land, yards of homeowners in Kelowna, and growing cash crops, lettuce, radishes, tomatoes, whatever. Like, you can go back and find his content. I think he's called Off Grid with Curtis Stone now. If you're looking for him on YouTube, again, I'll put links and mentions in the comments as far as I can find them. But I started watching Curtis. But that original video, Everything I Want to Do is Illegal, it was somewhat of a reaction video to another fella named Joel Salatin. And he's kind of this world famous or YouTube famous or internet famous farmer in, I want to say North Carolina, but it could be South Carolina. Let's go with North Carolina for now. And it was Polyface Farms. And that phrase, Everything I Want to Do is Illegal, is actually the title of one of his books. And he's kind of famous for teaching people regenerative farming and that kind of thing. And so go explore his content. He's got a wonderful mindset as a libertarian, as someone who's a proponent for back to the land and doing the stuff and instructing people how to do it. And so I started looking at his content and seeing more and more is like, this is doable. Like I could go find a piece of land and start developing it, start making it produce food for me and my family. Because that was really important at the time, is like, we wanted to have confidence in the things that we were eating. And really the only way I saw to control that was to grow it myself. And so Joel was kind of really the gateway drug into homesteading. And so over the years, I was watching Curtis Stone too. We're going to mention Curtis in a later video, so I don't want to talk too much about him here other than he was kind of my hookup to Joel Salatin. And Joel Salatin was the one who set me on the idea that you could learn to farm by YouTube. And that was sort of, I guess, the light bulb going off in my head that, we can use this as a tool to learn from one another. This is wonderful that people are so freely giving of their time and their knowledge to publish content that's going to benefit others and so on. Like, that was really inspiring. At that time, I wasn't thinking I need to start a YouTube video. But in these three gentlemen I mentioned, Cody, Joel, and Curtis, what I noticed is they're all got, maybe not so much for Cody on Wrangler Star, but Joel and Curtis, they had products that they were able to market to their audience. Curtis had books and seminars that he was selling online. Joel, he had a number of publications, whether they were self-published or whatnot. It was basically an advertising arm for his farming operation, which is huge. And again, look into what he's doing with Polyface. It's very impressive. And I kind of looked at that and then thought, I don't want to use YouTube as a marketing something or other. Like, I don't have a product that I want to sell. I have ideas, but I don't look at this to make money per se. And so having said that, there was kind of on top of all this, or amongst all this, a couple of other smaller YouTubers that made an impression at the time. One of them was, it was called the Fouch Family Farm or something like that. And I don't think it was Fouchamatic or something. It was this homesteading family. They were developing a family off-grid. It was Nick and Esther Fouch, I believe the name was. And they were in northern Idaho, and they had a couple acres. I forget. But Nick was just blowing my mind with what he was capable of doing as far as developing a bare piece of land. Like they started off in a yurt and then timber framed this beautiful home with the tools on hand and the timber on their property. Like it was just mind blowing. I think their content is still up, but they haven't published anything on YouTube in years. They might be off on Instagram or I don't know. I'll put links where I can find them again. But it was just blew my mind that you know, if you have a dream and you set your mind to it, like you can accomplish incredible things. And so just episode after episode, I was coming back and gobbling up their content, just in awe of what Nick was doing with his skills and the resources they had. It was just amazing. I hope they're doing very well. Now, contrasting that, there was another family, this couple in northern Idaho as well, and their channel at the time was called Pure Living for Life. That's it, Pure Living for Life. And this couple bought this plot of land, and they wanted to develop as off-grid property, and so they moved their motorhome into this shed or barn they had constructed, and then started on the task of putting in their water supply system, and then timber framing this home that they were going to erect. It was going to be their dream property, as well as setting up gardens and whatnot. But watching them, it was almost painful. Now, like, very hardworking couple, like, handed to them. But just watching them week after week, it was, I don't know if it was on purpose that they were doing that to get more subscribers and views. But I have a background in construction, and I'm a very hands-on guy. My whole life I've worked with my hands, or I've been most comfortable creating with my hands. So just watching how they went about planning and executing the development of their homestead, it was like one of those things you're just yelling at the screens, like, what is this guy, just like, stop doing that. Like it was wonderful, but it was awful. I don't know if that channel is still around or if that content is still up, but it was just like a train wreck time and time again. Like, I don't want to be critical, because they did good. Like, I don't know if the house ever got finished, but they were developing their YouTube empire right around the time of this adpocalypse that was going on, and clickbaity titles and descriptions and thumbnails were their age at the time. And I guess we never moved away from that. But they were caught up in this controversy of this adpocalypse. So now I don't know what was going on at the time, but they were definitely using their YouTube platform to make money, and I think they did quite well. Again, that's not my goal with what I'm doing here, but it just seemed like I don't want to do that. So back in 2015, 2016, even 2017, when their channel was really going, I was looking at that and thinking, that's great for them, but like I don't see me developing something on YouTube, because I would either have to, really allow people into my life, and I felt privacy was very important at the time. Anonymity was kind of the thing, whether it was because of identity theft or, I just didn't want to be a public figure or draw that much attention to myself. And so I saw, like, if you're on YouTube, you're really putting yourself out there, unless you're hiding behind an avatar. And I never felt I wanted to do that. So, sorry, somebody's trying to call me. I'll call them back later. Where were we? Oh yeah, the glare on my glasses. I apologize for the glare on my glasses. I'll see what I can do. And just as I was about to hit play, the sunbeam is coming through my room here. I'm in my new studio I set up in a spare bedroom in my house, and just the afternoon sun is shining right through my. It looks like light is coming right out my ear here. so I hope you're enjoying that. Where were we? Yeah. So that pure living for life, it kind of taught me it's like this isn't how I want to be doing it. So setting up a YouTube channel was really not on my radar back then. But I'm the kind of guy I like learning from other people's mistakes. I mean, you could learn either through your own experience or through the mistakes of others. So, you know, I'm not afraid of making mistakes, but learning from others has been a very valuable way or a strategy that I've employed. And you can kind of collapse time frames. You don't have to make all the mistakes. Having said that, just watch the mistakes on this channel. So stay tuned. In any case, that season of watching YouTube there, you know, it turned me on to seeing channels that had do-it-yourself information, stuff that, you know, prior to this, you'd have to go to trade school or apprentice under somebody for a good many years to pick up the skills that people are just putting out there online, and you pretty much click on how do I change the blah 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 on a blah blah, you know, like it's right there at the tip of your fingers. And so that kind of leads me to wind down what I want to talk about here as far as those early days of YouTube, because that kind of brought me to the next stage. And the next episode, we're going to go more into, I think the title is going to be something like truthers, untruthers, and, you know, a general rogues gallery that you find online. So stay tuned for that, as well as getting a little political and things that have happened between 2016 and now. I think we'll kind of wind this discussion off there, other than to maybe close this out with, again, a little message to you, the viewers. I really, again, want to thank you if you've still watched up to this point. By all means, subscribe. I want to thank the subscribers that are here, that have started off with me, a small group of a dozen or so of you. I really appreciate your support. And those new to my material, I've been posting only for a couple of weeks now, and some of that material you may not understand at all, and that's okay. It wasn't meant to get many views. It was mostly to teach me how to upload videos and use YouTube, and it's a process. Like I still can't get the thumbnails I want on YouTube Studio, so it is what it is. You know, I'm using an iPhone 7 to shoot this video, and my geriatric MacBook Air from 2011 is the other piece of dinosaur technology that I'm using. So my devices are not where they need to be. Right now you're sitting in a glasses case because I don't really have a stand for my phone or a tripod Maybe I'll get a gimbal at one point. Those things look really handy. I'm just using natural lighting to shoot this video. So if you've got comments, whether you like this video, leave a like. It doesn't cost you anything. If you don't like this video, hit that thumbs down and leave a nasty comment for me. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. I might try to fix it. I might not. Tell me you don't like my hair. Whatever. It's a work in progress. You know, we'll make this work. And I don't want to leave you hanging, but this series we're calling "Standing on the Backs of Giants." This is basically to pay tribute or acknowledge the creators that have got me to this point today. Everyone, there's more that I'll forget and that do deserve a mention, but there are some that really stood out that helped me formulate an idea of why I want to make this YouTube channel. And that'll be a whole separate series, the why. This Standing on the Backs of Giants is mostly how I got to be here. So again, like, share, subscribe. I look forward to taking you along on this journey. I look forward to the conversation we could have. Leave a comment. Leave a comment. Say hi. I really look forward to where this is going, and I thank you, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.